top one, like 7 inches from the midday sun. Well, I hear you whispering the words to melt everyone, but you stay so cool. My Monikita.
First, you want to dial in a nice amp setting. Right now, I'm not using too much gain. I'm using my Marshall JVM, and I'm using a Les Paul Junior. Actually, I think it's a 2013 model. Great guitar, one of the best ones I've ever played. Now I'm using the middle position. For Carlos's sound, you probably might want to use either middle or neck. I'd stay away from the bridge. It's just a little too hot and a little too much attack. And so Carlos has just more of that warm kind of feel. So I'll be in the middle position. All right, so let's get started. Please, if you can, download the tabs and the PDF guitar profile to this for $1. It's going to help me out a whole lot. If you can't do that, I'm going to go ahead and have the tabs right here underneath for you. All right, so first things first, let's break this down. Our first notes are 12 to 14 on the G string. It's going to be a quick hammer on. And then down to 13. So real quick. And then the next part is we're going to go 13 on G, 12 on B. We're going to bend that up a half step up to that C, and then bring it down, back down to B, 12, and then 14 on the G string. That's an A note. So we're going to go like this. 13, 12, bend up, back down to 14. So all together sounds like this so far. Nice, and now we have this really easy kind of finishing part. We have 12 on the B string, 14 G, and then 13 G. You'll see a lot. That's pretty common throughout this phrase. So we have just that end right there. So we'll play that phrase all together. Nice. Now this next lick is one of my favorites. We're going to go down to the D string on 14, and I'm using my third finger. I'm kind of keeping this shape. So this actually forms an E major chord. We have 14 on D, 13 on G, and then 12 on B. So we have this lick. Let's try that together. Nice, nice. And now we have a slide into 12, down to 13. So that slide, I like to start on 11. Pretty easy lick. Okay, so let's try all of that together. Let's recap that. Nice. All right, now this next part is really cool. We've got 12 on the B, then 13, back down to 12 on B, and then 12 on G. Now you could even bar that. Just be careful that you don't bleed the notes into each other, okay? So we got, and then we have a quick 13 to 12 pull off, then to 14 on G. So these articulations are what really make the solo, are what really make Carlos Santana's style really stand out, at least to me. So let's try that phrase. We're gonna start on that slide. Nice. Tasty, tasty, tasty. Now, we're going to finish up this last section with some hammer-ons from 12 to 14 on the D string, and just kind of, you know, playing off this articulation of Carlos Santana. It goes like this. Again. All right, so let's try this whole section. This is kind of like the smaller section, if you will, in terms of dynamics. It's kind of not as big as our next section. So let's try this all together. Here we go. Ready, and... Nice. Take it slow. I would recommend just learning that whole section, getting a firm grip on it, and then moving on to the next one. Okay, let's start with this next part. This is where it starts getting a little bit more exciting, a little bit more movement. We're going to go up to the 20th fret on the B string, and we're going to bend this up a whole step 3 times. On the third one, we're going to bring it back down, hit 17 on the B, 19 on G, and then 2 17s on B. That sounds like a lot of numbers, so we're just going to play through it. Check this out. It sounds like this. It's really not too complicated. So 20. I like to keep this hand position. I have my third finger on the B, on the 20th fret, excuse me, and then my first finger is hovering over 17 on the B, and my middle finger is where the 19th fret is. Okay, just so I have all those 3 notes ready to go. So again. Nice. Now this next lick goes to 19. We're going to bend this up half step and then down to 17. Not too bad. Pretty easy lick. So let's try that all together. We got this. Nice. Now this next part, it also has some of Carlos's little articulation, his characteristic of articulation. We have 18 to 17, a quick pull, and then to 18 to 17, excuse me, on the B string, and then 19G, 17B, 17G, 19 on G, 17, 19. So let me play this for you. It sounds like this. Let's try that again. I like to bar when I hit that 17, so check this out. I'm going bar, that one was a little bit confusing to me at the beginning, and I actually changed the fingerings from the edition that I was kind of working out of. So I changed some of the fingerings on there, but I think it sounds better, and I like the articulation of that quick half-step pull-off. So all together, let's try that. It sounds like this. Sounds great. Sounds really killer. I love it. All right, so the next part, we're going to go ahead and bar 17. This is like that cool triplet part that he does. And it's actually pretty easy. We're going to go 17B, 17E, 19E, 20E. And I'm keeping this shape. I have 1, 3, and 4. Those are just the fingerings I like to use. You could also use 1, 2, and 3 if you're more comfortable like that. I just like to incorporate the pinky there. So it sounds like this. And it's kind of over and over there. I think Carlos does it a little bit different from what I notated it on here. But if you use your ear, you know, this is just how I have it. And I think it sounds great how it's written out. So let's try that little section right there. We got 17. And then once you hit that 20, we're going to bend that up and tremolo pick it. So let's try that again. Okay, now this next part is probably the hardest part for me, just because when I'm in this position, I tend to do my own licks, and so relearning what I'm doing there was just difficult for me. So we're going to break this down real simple. We're going to start with 20 on the E string, 20 on the B, and this is where I like to use my fourth finger. 4, and then 3 next to it. Okay, and then we go 17. And then we're going to bend up that 20 on the B. And from here, we're going to have this kind of pattern, which is 20 bending up a whole step and then 17. So you're going to have that 16th notes of 17 and then that 8th note of 20. So the 20 is a little bit longer. You'd repeat that 3 times, and then we go into another little lick. So we're going to try this. We have triplet right here with 18, 17 on the B. Pull off. 19, excuse me, on the G, 17 on the B. And then a quick bend on 19. Then 2 17s, both on the B and the E. We're going to do a quick pull off from 20 to 17 on the B string. A bend on 19G. And bring it back down. 17 on G, 19D. And then we're going to finish off with that 17, 19G. So all together, okay, this is going to be, I'm going to try to take it as accurately and slow as I can. Sometimes on that 19, on that G, I bend the opposite way, downwards. I don't know why, it just kind of helped me. And honestly, once you start picking up the speed with it, I find it easier to play it faster than I do slower. At least now I do. Okay, and then the next part, we're just going to slide down to 9. It's almost going up. We're going chromatic up the scale. We're going 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Now we're going to skip 15, go to 16, 17, and then finish back down with 14. Your root note. So it sounds like there's like a pickup, so it's like all right, so we're gonna try to take this all the way through that tough section. Sounds like this. And it's just like the ocean. That's kind of where it goes.
Then it's a hot one, like 7 inches from the midday sun. Well, I hear you whispering the words to melt everyone, but you stay so